Wow, look at this. Zoom. Watch this. Latitude 27.84829, north 27 degrees, 50 feet, 53.54293 inches, and longitude is minus 82.55454, west 82 degrees, 33 feet, 16.339 inches. Wow. I gotta show you this whole area right here, all the way from Alright, if you want to see the whole video of this footage from Picnic Park Beach, I did put out a video. It's about an hour and 50 some minutes, almost 2 hours long, and this is a part of it. I'm not going to lie to you people, I did audio enhance this. I set the contrast at 3, the saturation at 6, and the brightness at 9. People wonder why. They'll ask me, why are you using these numbers? These are our numbers, and I actually think that they help me see better, especially in my video, being that this is no different than adjusting a TV at home. But one of the things I want to show you on these is that, when you're looking at perspective is, objects out on the water that are closer to me, are they going to be, taller than the buildings in the background? Like, is that little object there that I just passed as tall as what it appears? Or how about this one? Is it as tall as those buildings in the background? No, not even anywhere near it. You put it up close to that building, and it's going to look small. Same with the other one. Same way with that sailboat. Is it taller than that water tower that was behind it? No, of course not. This is perspective, and you have to take that into consideration of looking over long distances. Now, I'm up about 5.5, 6 feet off the water. I put my location in, and I was standing behind this pile of rock. I'm assuming that it was to keep water from washing the land away. And I was actually worried that the water was going to come in, the tide was coming in. I thought it was going to maybe swamp me and I'd be standing in water. But same way here, I'm looking at these buildings from a long, far off distance. And, you can look at these other objects in the water here, and you got to ask yourself, are they taller than what's in the background? Well, of course not. That is perspective. So if you try to figure out where I would be standing on the other side or the same height as me, I would be way back there. Is that thing bigger than that building behind it? No, it wouldn't even probably come close to it. Same way with that sailboat. Is it higher than them woods behind it? I doubt it very much, especially as high as it was. So people got to learn that perspective does play a big role in what you're seeing and how you see. When you're looking over long distances, and these distances, I shouldn't even be seeing some of these things. And if I had noticed that sailboat that I went by real quick, I might have keyed in on them. Now, you look at this and you think, oh, that's water back there. No, that's land and trees, believe it or not, just being distorted by the atmospheric conditions. And I don't even like to call it atmospheric because it isn't a sphere. It is flat, people. We live in a flat world with mountains and valleys. Yes. Yes, the water does move. It rolls in and out. It does waves. It waves in, it waves out. Just like tides roll in, they roll out, but it rolls in and out on a wave. Now you can start seeing the Sunshine Skyway. While I was there, I looked as far to the south as I could go until I ran into the trees, and then I looked as far to the north as I could while going, filming the whole south or west side of me. And you can see this. You can see the bands from the Sunshine Skyway, and you could actually probably count a lot of those things. The supports for the bridge right there, and come up with a little idea of how far this was away. Now, my camera kind of got out of a little bit of focus here, and I don't know why. I think it was due to me zooming in a little further, and once you zoom into a certain point, everything kind of gets out of focus, and I think it's just due to me just trying to zoom in as far as I can on, something that is not, you cannot, because of the angular resolution, I cannot resolve it. Now, I did cut out parts of this video just so I could make it shorter and slow some parts down, especially the last part of it. But like I said, you can watch this whole thing in the video that I made, or watch parts and pieces of it, be my guest. But, I haven't gotten a lot of views on it, but there's a lot to see in it if you really, really pay attention to the details. And this was opposite from where I was at on this island. This was all the way across the other side, towards Bradenton, where the Sunshine Skyway leads over to. So, I was able to actually see objects this far away. I didn't actually even measure the distance to those, but I did measure some other parts. Now, if you notice that there's these three causeways, well, there's two of them. There's the Gandy, there's 275, or I should say I-275, and then it's the Gulf to Bay that turns into the Courtney Campbell Causeway. So we got, three bridges right here, and in this next part, I slow it down for you, and you can look at how this works and tell me what you see. All right, I didn't even put in a transition, so hope that wasn't hard on the eyes. And again, remember that I did adjust the contrast, the saturation, and the brightness on this to make it better. Now, this is from the left side of the picture that I just showed you, and I'm moving towards the north. And you can obviously see the Gandy Bridge in front of 275. And then if you look underneath the bridge, you see Gulf to Bay. And as I go farther to the right, you even see cars going on Gulf to Bay. Now, if the earth was curving down, I shouldn't even see Gulf to Bay Road. I should not see that causeway, that other causeway going across. And then, you have to consider the angular resolution that I've got going on here. It cannot resolve, but so far, everything starts getting, just so out of focus, the camera cannot resolve it. But there is literally water under that other bridge that's on the other side, the farthest one, the Courtney Campbell or the Gulf to Bay. And I believe this is the Gulf to Bay. And as I go farther to the right, then you will actually see Courtney Campbell Causeway underneath it. But you actually seen the cars on the first bridge closest to you is the Gandy. And then the big, hard, whitish one is 275, I-275. And then the one that you see underneath everything is the Gandy or the Gulf to Bay. Like I said, it doesn't turn into the Courtney Campbell Causeway until I get farther to the right. And then you'll see that it turns into the Courtney Campbell Causeway. But how could I be seeing this? Gulf to Bay, when I first think that I see it, is approximately 9 miles away. And again, I'm only standing at, the highest I could be standing is at 6 feet. like I said, my tripod's 5.5 feet tall. I'm right in the sand, right at the edge of the water. So I couldn't have been no more than 6 inches above the water. You know, if it, I mean, I'm not going to get like down nitpicky, but number one, I'm not going to lie to myself. I know where I'm standing, and I did these for myself, and I don't do them for people. I do them for me to understand and to learn by. And, you know, this is what I try to tell people. If you can't learn from observing, then go home. You have to go out and observe. And then you have to take into consideration the curvature of Earth. Now, you know, they say that I should only be able to see 3 miles out, and then everything starts curving down. Well, if it started curving down, then these other causeways, or this farthest causeway, shouldn't even be visible. It shouldn't even be visible. It should have been underneath the curve because it's not that high off the water. You can see this first Gandy Bridge. It's not much higher than the Gulf du Bay is off the water. You know, I didn't check the specs, but I know because I've driven across all of these. And I'll tell you, I'm actually surprised that I was able to see this. And I slowed it down just so you could actually get a really a lot better look at it. You know, I keep following it. And, you know, you got to think about how one bridge is angled away from the other, and the other bridge is kind of angled in. So they're kind of all merging together, just like two string lines would start merging together at a certain distance. So, you know, again, I'm telling you guys, look at this. This would be impossible on a globe, and it would actually also be impossible on a concave Earth. On a concave Earth, that farthest bridge would be, you know, above the other bridge, or it should be, or it should be hidden behind the other bridge completely. I shouldn't even have been able to see it at all. Either way, what I am seeing is a long distance of flatness, of a straight view. Okay, I always say line of sight. It's in my line of sight, and it can't be in my line of sight if it's underneath the curvature of Earth. Now, somebody that wants to say that this is refracting up, come on, really, you use your common senses. You know, refraction was created or explained to you to explain away what you actually do see. And this is why I say we have been trained to not trust our own senses. And right here is where I think it turns into Courtney Campbell Causeway. It's just before I get to this land here. And, you know, as I go back, you see the Courtney Campbell. You see it where it's getting over toward more on the land. And then as I go back, it's just a little, Courtney Campbell Causeway is just a little part. And look at this boat, too. This boat is on the other side of 275. And I almost think that this might be the smallest boat that I actually caught, because I don't think it's a real big boat. But, well, I take that back. I think I've caught in boats smaller than this. Matter of fact, I know I have, because I just recently put out a video that with a boat much smaller. Heck, the dolphins were bigger than the boat. Or it appeared to be bigger than the boat because of perspective. And that's one of the things that I really wanted to bring forth with this part of the video, that nobody made a comment about it in the main video. And like I said, of course, not many people watch the whole video because my videos are long. They're long observational videos. You don't want to watch them, fine. But I think that they're good learning tools, because if you can't observe it, it ain't happening. Here I am observing something that shouldn't be possible on a globe. You know, Globers will come on my channel. They will try to give me all these excuses and all these reasons why I should trust them and believe them, and say, oh yes, bow down to the belief system and, you know, just suck it up and believe it. Well, I'm sorry, I'm not into the belief system. I'm into the seeing, knowing, and actually going out and observing it for myself. Don't like it? Don't comment. All right. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I wasn't even going to make another video for a while, but I thought I wanted to put this one out to really, really show what perspective is. Thanks and have a good day, good night, or good evening, whichever.